Next thing I want to talk about is how almost all the opportunity is with trade with China. I just talked about how the economy's in fucking shambles, how America has a really broken system, and it does. It's a fucking horrible, shitty, broken system, needs reform, okay? There's still opportunity. There's a little bit of opportunity, and guess where it is? It's international trade, and it's with China. Okay, that's where a big portion of the opportunity is. So basically, American and European firms have been wholesale exporting the manufacturing process to China for decades now. Okay, and in the process of doing that, it's been like hollowing out the middle class and like the working class of our countries in Europe and in America. So basically, these big corporations, they move their manufacturing to China because China has a really high population, and they actually may not treat their people that well, like the poor people. And this is honestly a speculation. Like, I'm not one of these like anti-China basher people. I like to look at things in the middle and kind of gauge what's really happening. There's a lot of YouTube channels that they're like fucking propaganda channels, dude. Like they're just bashing China. They're making China look like they're like the devil reincarnated. Okay, China is a sketchy place. There's probably a lot of immoral things going on, big time. I can just tell you that. But I think a lot of it is blown out of proportion in Western media, and it's basically Western propaganda. But my point is their living standards are lower in China, and I'm talking about the bottom tier. Like China still has like a ton of people in abject poverty. Like they're living like in a hut with like, you know, very little medicine and, you know, no electricity and shit in the rural areas. You know, they're like subsistence farmers. China's still trying to pull these people out of poverty, but you know, you can't give everybody a golden throne. That's just not how this world is, okay? It's cheap to make stuff in China, and you could say they even have like, I don't even want to say it, dude. It's almost like there's a chance that they have like slave conditions in China, you know, and I can't verify that, but when you're in a system, in a land, in a country, and you don't have a choice, dude. Like when you're in the system, it's like the American system. Like we don't have a choice where we were born and where we live. Like we live here, you know, we eat McDoubles and we go into a coma after work. You know, that's what we do. We scarf down the whole thing of fries. In China, if you're born into poverty, like that was not your choice. And they have like a very strict centralized government that's kind of like old school, old world style. And they may not give a shit about your living standard. They don't give a fuck, you know, and if you speak out against the government, you're viewed as like a defector and a traitor, and they'll re-educate you or they'll fucking kill you. Okay, so I just went off on a tangent about China, but I'm trying, why I do that and why I did that is because I'm trying to explain why things are the way they are. You know, I'm not just telling you, go trade with China because it's cheap. You know, I want to tell you why it's cheap because I have an idea why, you know. But basically, one of the big opportunity games out is China. Okay, these Wall Street investors like Goldman Sachs and shit, they got their fucking hawk eye on the Chinese markets because they're emerging. We have like slow, stagnant growth with our fucking printing of the money over here and our in-debt bullshit. And China actually has an emerging economy. They make everything for the world, and it's actually like mind-boggling. Like you can't even wrap your head around how big the factories are. It's like 5 football fields, and like it's all in a factory, and there's just like there's like tens of thousands of people working. It's like fucking nuts. You don't want to just see these big corporations trade with China and make the millions and millions and millions, you know. You want a piece of that money, you know, and everybody deserves a piece of the American dream. And it's just a very hard environment. You basically have to be a fighter. If you can if you can find something like an idea, like a product or something that you can manufacture in China, you can make a lot of money, because China's willing to sell you these goods for a very, very low price, like an artificially low price that's really subsidized by their government. The entire system over there is like a government intervention. It's like things are subsidized by the government, and they have different living conditions, like I said, and it allows for cheap price. And also the Chinese, they're actually really smart. I mean, those motherfuckers, they're very industrious, you know. Industrious people are like the Germans, the Japanese, the Koreans, very industrious people. The English, the British, industrious. The Chinese, whew, man, they're good, man. So not only are you getting cheap prices, but you really are getting quality. Like they don't make poop anymore. You know, they used to. They still got some crap. You got to sift through it, but you can find like certain industries, it's like standardized. It's like, it's fucking good, bro. You know, you don't got to go to Japan to get the better shit. You can just go to China. You get those low commie prices.